Have you ever wondered why the people you thought would walk with you forever suddenly drift away, turn their backs, or simply disappear from your life? Does it feel like one by one, the very friends you leaned on are leaving, and you're left standing in the silence, questioning your worth? Chosen one. What you must understand is this: you are not losing friends. You are being shifted by God into a higher place, and that requires a higher circle. Every departure is not rejection, it is redirection. Every empty seat in your life is being prepared for someone who carries the same light, the same vision, the same destiny as you. Think of the story of Prophet Joseph. As a young man, he shared dreams that revealed his divine calling, and instead of celebration, his own brothers turned against him. They plotted, betrayed, and cast him into a pit. To Joseph, it must have felt like abandonment, as if those he trusted most had become his greatest enemies. Yet in that pit was the beginning of his preparation. Each betrayal, each false friend, each season of loneliness was not meant to break him, but to move him closer to the palace. Chosen one, your story mirrors his. The ones you thought would be loyal were never assigned to carry you to your destiny. Their exit, painful as it is proof of your preparation. Now let us pause for a moment together. Breathe deeply. Believe with me that what you are about to hear is meant only for you in this moment of your life. Let the words sink past your mind and into your spirit. Let them stir something sacred within you. Remember the promise. For if God takes away, He takes only to replace with better. This message is not coincidence, it is confirmation. You didn't stumble here by accident, you were guided. I know you've cried in silence. I know you've asked why good friends suddenly turned cold, why conversations ended, and why laughter faded into distance. You've wondered if you are too much, too different, or too unworthy. But the truth is this: your spirit outgrew their space. You are carrying an oil, a calling, a vibration that cannot remain in the same circle you once had. When God begins to upgrade your destiny, He upgrades your circle. He removes what no longer fits, so He can align you with what is divine. The loneliness you feel is not a punishment. It is preparation for alignment. By the end of this message, you will not only understand why friendships dissolved, but you will see it as God's hand moving gently yet firmly in your life. You will learn to stop mourning over who left and begin to rejoice over what is coming. Comment 777 if you feel the stir of alignment within you. Comment 444 if you're ready for the circle God is preparing. And as you walk through this journey, know this: you were never forgotten. You were chosen, and chosen ones are never left with less, only lifted into more. Have you noticed how the people you once trusted with your heart seem to vanish just when you need them most? They were there when life was light and laughter was easy. But when your spirit grew deeper, when your questions turned heavier, suddenly the phone stopped ringing. The invitations stopped coming. Their presence faded like shadows at sunrise. It hurts, doesn't it? Because you thought loyalty was forever. You thought love was unconditional. And when that loyalty broke, it felt like betrayal. But chosen one, you need to see the deeper truth. You are not being abandoned. You are being elevated. Every friend you lose in this season is a sign that your soul has outgrown what once surrounded you. Psychologists like Carl Jung spoke of psychic energy, the inner fuel that sustains your mind, body, and spirit. When you pour that energy into friendships that no longer feed you, you feel drained. You sense something is off, but out of habit you keep giving. Every late-night phone call, every time you listened without being heard, every time you showed up for them when they never showed up for you, that was gold, leaving your soul's treasure chest. You gave pieces of yourself that were meant to be guarded, and now, when they no longer call, you feel the ache of silence. But that silence is not emptiness. It is sovereignty. God is pulling you back to yourself. Think about it. How often did you say yes when your soul wanted to scream no? How often did you carry burdens that were never yours to hold? When you lose such friends, it feels like a loss, but in reality, it is God stopping the leakage. He is cutting ties to those who only knew how to take and never how to give. The chosen ones carry an energy so rare, so luminous, that others unconsciously feed on it. They don't always know they are draining you, but the effect is the same. You leave conversations tired, heavy, confused, and then you wonder why your spirit feels restless. This is why losing friends is not a curse, it is protection. God is restoring what was being stolen drop by drop. Spiritually, this is the first phase of transformation. Losing friends marks the ending of one circle and the unseen formation of another. Like Joseph in the pit, you cannot yet see the palace waiting. But you must trust the pit as much as you trust the dream. The pit was painful but necessary because not every brother could walk with him into destiny. Likewise, not every friend can walk with you where God is sending you. Their role in your life has expired. Some were meant to teach you compassion, others to test your patience, and a few to sharpen your discernment. But none of them were meant to complete your story. That place is reserved for those chosen by God to align with your path. Pause for a moment. Reflect. Who in your life grows nervous, angry, or distant when you stop giving? When you withdraw your energy? Their reaction reveals what they wanted from you, not who they truly were to you. If their presence was based on what you could provide, then their exit is proof that God is exposing motives, and though your heart may ache, the release is sacred. You are not being punished, you are being purified. So when friendships dissolve, do not chase after them. Do not beg people to stay who are already halfway gone. Let them leave, because as they walk away, space is created, and in that space, God is preparing a circle that matches your growth, your healing, your destiny. Silence is not rejection. It is God's voice saying, I am making room for better. Chosen one, let this truth settle in your heart. You are not hard to love. You are not cursed to walk alone. You are in transition, and the transition is holy. Losing friends is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of God upgrading your circle. This is why you must embrace the empty seats. They are not empty forever. They are reserved for those who will see you, know you, and walk with you as God intended. Comment 444 if you feel this shift. Comment 777 if you are ready for the upgrade. Your circle is changing because your destiny is rising. When the old circle breaks apart, when friends fall away like leaves in autumn, it can feel as though your world is collapsing. But in truth, something greater is taking shape. God is not removing people just to leave you lonely. He is upgrading your circle. Every hidden motive, every false smile, every shallow bond is being peeled away so that the ones who come next will not drain you, but sustain you. It's like the pruning of a tree. At first, the cuts seem harsh, but in time, new growth flourishes stronger than before. Psychologically, people are creatures of projection. They become comfortable when you remain predictable. They know what role you play, always available, always listening, always giving. But when you begin to pull back, when your soul refuses to play the same part, they feel exposed. They no longer have control over your energy. Suddenly, they project their discomfort onto you. They call you distant, selfish, changed. But what they truly mean is, I can't use you the way I used to. Your silence dismantles their illusion. Your withdrawal breaks the puppet strings. And like a string cut from a puppet, the game ends the moment you step back. This is individuation, the process Jung described where the soul demands separation from false roles. You are no longer willing to wear masks that suffocate your spirit. You no longer bend yourself just to be accepted. This inner shift unsettles those who only knew how to relate to the old version of you. But while they fade, God begins to send new alignments. These are not mere companions, they are destiny helpers. They do not compete with your light, but fan it brighter. They do not just take from your energy, they pour back into it. This is what an upgraded circle looks like. Spiritually, your absence becomes the loudest message. You don't need to argue, explain, or defend. The silence of your departure speaks volumes. Energy is shifting even when words are not spoken. It is like gravity, unseen, yet pulling everything into new order. The moment you stop chasing people who resist you, the divine order begins to place you with those who recognize you. What feels like emptiness is actually recalibration. God is realigning every connection so that your relationships will no longer be based on convenience, but on covenant. Imagine the transformation like this. You are standing in a crowded room where everyone talks but no one listens, where everyone takes but no one gives. Then, one by one, the crowd leaves. At first, you feel abandoned. But then, as the room grows quiet, you notice a doorway opening. Through it walk people who carry peace, depth, and vision like your own. They do not drain you, they resonate with you. They speak your soul's language. This is the upgrade. The old circle had to collapse so the new could enter. Yes, the world may call you strange. They may say you've changed. But remember this, every chosen one is misunderstood before they are celebrated. The desert always comes before the promised land. The loneliness is always the gateway to alignment. What they call selfish, heaven calls preservation. What they call pride, heaven calls protection. You are not losing. You are being prepared for more. Pause now and breathe. Ask yourself, who has left your life recently? Who no longer returns your calls, no longer celebrates your wins, no longer feels aligned? Instead of mourning, dare to whisper, "Thank you, God. You are making room." This gratitude turns loss into invitation. It shifts your heart from despair into expectancy. Because once you accept the pruning, the fruit begins to show. Chosen one, do not fear the empty seats. They are not signs of rejection. They are signs of divine replacement. The ones leaving could not go where you are going. The ones coming are being sent for who you are becoming. Comment 777 if you're ready to welcome the divine replacements into your life. Comment 444 if you believe your upgrade is already unfolding. Your circle is not shrinking, it is being transformed. The upgrade is already in motion. Every pattern in your present has roots in your past. The way you give, the way you cling, the way you allow others to stay, even when they drain you, often began in childhood. Think back. Were you the child who always tried to please? The one who stayed quiet to keep the peace? The one who learned early that love sometimes came with conditions? These early lessons planted seeds in your soul, shaping how you moved in relationships. You said yes when you wanted to say no, because you feared rejection. You carried storms in silence because you were told your feelings were too much. And so, as an adult, you repeated the same cycle, holding on to friends who did not honor you, pouring yourself into connections that left you empty. In psychology, this is called the persona, the mask we wear to survive. As children, we learn to put on masks to be accepted. Maybe your mask was being the helper, always solving problems. Maybe it was being the listener, always absorbing pain. Maybe it was being the strong one, never showing your own wounds. But beneath the mask lives the shadow, the unspoken ache of all the times you longed to be seen, yet felt invisible. This shadow is what drives the exhaustion you feel today. You've been giving from a place of fear, not freedom. And when God begins to heal you, He removes the mask. That is why friends are falling away. They were only connected to the mask, not the real you. Spiritually, chosen souls are often born sensitive. From childhood, you felt things others ignored. You noticed moods in the room before anyone spoke. You carried an inner depth that adults called too emotional or too sensitive. But what they saw as weakness was ancient wisdom in disguise. You were born with a heightened awareness because your soul carried an assignment. While other children laughed without a care, you felt the weight of things unspoken. Like Joseph dreaming of stars bowing down, your spirit knew something about destiny long before your mind could understand it. That awareness made you different, and different often meant lonely. The roots of losing friends, then, are not random. They are the unfolding of a divine script. The friendships you outgrow now are echoes of the acceptance you once craved as a child. Back then you tolerated masks to belong. But now God is teaching you that true belonging requires no mask at all, and those who cannot handle your unmasked self will drift away. Do not chase them. Let them go. For what you are learning is this: you were never meant to fit into their small circle. You were meant to be prepared for a greater one. Pause with me here. Imagine your younger self. Picture that child who smiled even when they hurt, who gave even when they were empty, who silenced themselves just to be accepted. Now whisper to them, you were never broken. You were awake. Let this truth wash over you. The very sensitivity they mocked is the wisdom that will guide you now. You are not cursed for being different. You are anointed for being aware. Metaphorically, it's like being an old soul trapped in a child's body. You were asked to carry storms far too heavy for your years, but instead of breaking you, those storms trained you. They forged the strength to carry light others cannot hold. So now, when friends leave, it may hurt that your loyalty wasn't returned, but deep down your soul knows it is not new. You've walked with loneliness before. Only this time the loneliness is not punishment. It is a womb. You are being reborn into the circle that was always meant for you. Chosen one, take courage. The roots of your losses are also the roots of your awakening. You are no longer that child forced to earn love. You are the awakened soul learning to receive divine love. And as you heal those roots, your new circle will mirror your wholeness, not your wounds. Comment 444 if you feel the child in you rising healed. Comment 777 if you are ready to step into friendships aligned with your destiny. This is not just loss, it is sacred replacement. There comes a point in every chosen one's journey where words are no longer necessary. You stop explaining yourself, you stop defending your choices, you stop begging people to understand. At first, this silence feels heavy, like an ending too sharp to bear. But slowly, you begin to notice something sacred. The silence is not emptiness, it is transformation. Every ending that comes wrapped in quiet is an invitation to conserve your energy for what truly matters. Psychologically, this is the moment energy leaks stop. When you no longer react to every comment, every misunderstanding, every subtle insult disguised as a joke, you close the holes where your psychic energy once drained. Silent withdrawal becomes your shield. The cycle of manipulation, where people pull on your emotions just to keep you entangled, finally breaks. Silence does not mean weakness. It means strength. You are learning that not responding is its own form of response, and it is far louder than any words could ever be. Spiritually, the silence of endings carries the imagery of the cocoon, the desert, and the womb. In the cocoon, the caterpillar disappears, dissolving into stillness, unseen by the outside world. But in that hidden silence, wings are forming. In the desert, prophets walked alone, stripped of comfort. Yet there they heard the clearest voice of God. In the womb, unseen life grows in sacred quiet before it emerges into light. Chosen one, your silence is your cocoon, your desert, your womb. Though it feels like death, it is the birthplace of your transformation. Think of Moses, who spent 40 years in the wilderness before stepping into his calling. Imagine his silence, his solitude, his wrestling with unanswered questions. To others, it may have looked like failure. But in truth, It was sacred preparation. The same is happening in your life. What looks like endings, what feels like rejection, what seems like isolation is really God placing you in the holy quiet, where your spirit can hear Him without interference. Pause with me now. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight lift as you realize you don't have to explain yourself anymore. The lightness you sense is not emptiness. It is your power returning. No longer bound to defending your worth, you can rest in knowing your worth was never up for debate. In these silent endings, relationships you thought were permanent dissolve without explanation. And while your heart may ache, remember, hidden years are sacred years. Silence is not God's absence. It is His design. For in the stillness, He reshapes you. In the endings, He rewrites you. And in the quiet, He restores the fragments of your soul, scattered across years of overgiving and over-explaining. The paradox of silence is that while others interpret it as distance, heaven sees it as devotion. You are no longer wasting breath on what cannot hear you. Instead, you are tuning your ear to what has been whispering to you all along. Your own voice, your divine compass, the spirit within. And it is there, in the quiet, that you begin to realize you are not alone. The presence has been there the whole time, waiting for you to notice. So let this chapter be your permission slip. You don't need to justify endings. You don't need to fight against departures. If people drift away in your silence, let them. The silence is your sacred space, and only those meant for your next chapter will honor it. Chosen one, the silence of endings is not your downfall. It is your becoming. Comment 444 if you feel the strength of silence rising in you. Comment 777 if you're ready to embrace the cocoon, the desert, the womb. For when you emerge from this quiet, you will not be who you were. You will be who you were always meant to be. Rejection cuts deeply. When a friend you trusted turns their back, when a circle you poured into closes its doors, when those you supported the most suddenly vanish, it feels like the sharpest kind of wound. You replay conversations in your head, searching for what you did wrong. You question your worth, your loyalty, your very spirit. But chosen one, the truth you must hold on to is this: their rejection is not the end of your story. It is God's redirection. Psychologically, rejection often reveals more about the other person than it does about you. Carl Jung taught that projection is when people push their unaccepted parts onto others. So when someone rejects you, often they are not rejecting who you truly are. They are rejecting the mirror you held up to them. Your light showed them what they were not ready to face in themselves. Your honesty revealed their hidden lies. Your growth exposed their stagnation. And so, instead of embracing the reflection, they ran from it. This is why chosen ones are often misunderstood, even attacked. You are not just a person, you are a mirror. And mirrors can be uncomfortable to those unwilling to face their truth. What feels like rejection is often their fear of their own shadow. Spiritually, rejection is confirmation that your light is too bright for where you were. It does not mean you were unworthy. It means you were no longer a fit for that level of connection. Think of Jesus in his hometown. Those who knew him as a carpenter's son could not accept him as the Messiah. They rejected the very one sent to save them, not because he was false, but because their vision of him was too small. Your story echoes his. People may reject you not because you failed them, but because you outgrew the role they wanted you to play. They were comfortable with the old you, but couldn't handle the awakened one. Their rejection is evidence of your expansion. Let us pause here. Take a breath and repeat silently. Their rejection is not my reflection. Their rejection is my redirection. Let these words sink in. Feel the heaviness of old wounds lifting as you realize you are not defined by who walked away. You are defined by the one who is still walking with you. Yes, rejection brings loneliness. Yes, it stirs fear. But in the spiritual journey, rejection is often the final push needed to step into alignment. If every friend stayed, if every circle remained intact, you would never discover the depth of your own resilience. You would never learn to walk with God in the silence. Rejection forces you to lean on Him, to trust the compass within, and to release your dependence on the approval of others. Metaphorically, rejection is like being a bright mirror in a dark room. Some will see their reflection and be inspired to rise. Others will flinch, look away, and call the mirror too much. But the mirror is not at fault. The rejection was never about the mirror. It was about their readiness. Chosen one, every no you've heard, every door that closed, every friend who left, was God whispering, "Not here. Not with them. I have better." What felt like loss was protection. What felt like abandonment was preservation. What felt like rejection was the redirection your soul needed to find its true circle. So hold your head high. Stop chasing those who walked away. Stop mourning friendships that could not handle your awakening. They did not reject you. They rejected the reflection of themselves they were not ready to face. Comment 444 if this resonates with your heart. Comment 777 if you are ready to embrace rejection as the holy signpost it truly is. Rejection is not your curse. It is your confirmation. It is the doorway to the divine upgrade waiting for you. There comes a moment in the chosen one's journey when you can no longer lean on the voices around you. Friends may leave, circles may dissolve, and familiar paths may vanish, but something deeper begins to rise within you, your inner compass. This compass is not external advice, not public opinion, not the validation of those who once applauded you. It is the quiet whisper inside your chest, the steady rhythm that has always been guiding you home. Psychologically, this is the essence of individuation, the process of becoming whole. Jung described it as the uniting of the conscious and unconscious self, where you stop living for others and begin living in truth. The inner compass is your intuition, the gut knowing that tells you when something is off, the subtle pull toward opportunities that align with your spirit. It is the voice you once ignored while trying to keep everyone else happy, the nudge you silenced while chasing approval. Now, stripped of distractions, you can finally hear it clearly. Spiritual awakening reveals that this compass is not just intuition, it is divine alignment. Every chosen soul carries an inner map, a sacred guidance system that leads them to the people, places, and purposes prepared for them. That tightness in your chest when you're around the wrong crowd, that peace you feel when you step into the right space, that is your compass speaking. It has never betrayed you. You only needed to learn to trust it. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path looks familiar, crowded, noisy, full of faces you once knew. The other looks empty, uncertain, quiet. Your mind wants to choose the familiar, but your spirit pulls you toward the unknown. The compass in your chest is pointing to the second path. At first it feels risky, but as you step forward, you realize that though it looks empty, it is filled with peace. That is how the inner compass works. It may not lead you where it looks comfortable, but it always leads you where you belong. Pause here with me. Place your hand gently on your chest. Breathe deeply. Feel the rhythm beneath your palm. That steady beat is not random. It is the compass of your soul, the reminder that within you lies direction. Whisper to yourself, I can trust this voice. I can trust this path. Let this moment anchor you. As you learn to trust your inner compass, synchronicities will begin to appear. Those coincidences that are not coincidences at all. You'll think of someone and they'll suddenly call. You'll dream of a door, and the next week an opportunity opens. You'll notice repeating numbers, signs in nature, whispers in scripture that match exactly what your soul was already sensing. These are confirmations that your compass is aligned with divine timing. Of course, the world may call you strange for following it. They will ask for explanations you cannot give. But this is the beauty of trusting your inner compass. You no longer need to explain. The path is not for them, it is for you. Their maps cannot guide you, because your journey is unique. You are not being arrogant, you are being aligned. Chosen one, your circle may have shifted, rejection may have stung, silence may have tested you, but through it all, your compass has been pointing steadily home. It has always whispered when you strayed too far, always nudged when you settled for less, and now it is louder than ever. Trust me, follow me, I will not lead you astray. So let this be your declaration. You will no longer drown out your compass with the noise of others. You will no longer silence it for the sake of fitting in. You will trust it because it is the voice of the divine within you. Comment 444 if you feel your compass stirring. Comment 777 if you're ready to walk by its guidance. The circle ahead of you will not be found by chasing people. It will be revealed by following your compass. And in that trust, you will find not only new friends, but your true self. Chosen one, now that you have walked through the ache of loss, the sting of rejection, the silence of endings, and the rediscovery of your inner compass, it is time to understand the deeper truth. Your becoming is not just for you. It is the message. Every tear you shed in the night, every friend you lost without warning, every season of emptiness you endured was never wasted. It was shaping you, refining you, carving out space in your spirit so you could carry the fullness of who you are meant to be. Psychologically, individuation is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you've always been beneath the masks, beneath the roles, beneath the false friendships that demanded you shrink. The journey was never about fixing yourself. It was about uncovering yourself. Every ending peeled away another layer of illusion. Every rejection pushed you closer to authenticity. Every silence gave your true voice room to rise. You were not broken, you were being revealed. Spiritually, awakening is not escape, it is homecoming. The loneliness was not punishment, it was the desert where God whispered your name. The rejection was not abandonment, it was the mirror proving your light was too bright for some to face. The lost friendships were not betrayal, they were pruning, making room for the circle destined to walk with you. You were never forgotten, you were hidden until the right time, the right people. The right purpose aligned. Chosen one, hear this. You weren't forgotten. You were hidden. You weren't broken. You were being shaped. You weren't abandoned. You were recalled. You weren't rejected. You were redirected. Pause here and let these affirmations echo in your soul. Breathe them in as truth. This is not theory. This is your testimony. Everything you endured is now your message. Your silence is not emptiness, it is sovereignty. Your rejection is not loss, it is confirmation. Your loneliness is not void, it is divine alignment. Now, let me speak to your heart directly. The reason people walked away was not because you were unworthy, it was because you were chosen. Chosen ones cannot remain in circles that drain them. Chosen ones cannot remain hidden behind masks that suffocate them. Chosen ones cannot continue carrying dead weight when they are being lifted into destiny. You are rising, and with your rising comes the upgrade. So let this be your declaration today. Write it in the comments as a seal of faith. Comment 1111 if you choose your peace. Comment 444 if you choose to trust the upgrade. Comment 777 if you are ready to walk boldly into the circle God has prepared. These are not just numbers, they are markers of your agreement with the message written on your soul. And as you move forward, remember, you do not walk alone. Every time the world grows heavy, return here. This space is not just content, it is your soul's sanctuary, a reminder that you are seen, you are heard, and you are chosen. Let these words be your refuge when silence feels unbearable. Your confirmation when rejection stings, your anchor when the compass feels faint. Chosen one, Your story is not ending, it is unfolding. Your becoming is the message. By the end of this journey, you will no longer see yourself as abandoned, but as appointed. You will no longer call yourself forgotten, but chosen. And when you rise in this truth, the world will finally see what heaven always knew. You are not who you were, you are who you were always meant to be. You are no longer available to what drains you. You are available only to the truth of your own becoming. And that, chosen one, is your power.